What is up, everybody, and welcome back once again to the Don't Shoot Disc Golf podcast. This is episode number 51 with my guest Nathan Shaw, and I am your host, Harry Messenger, coming to you live from the studio here in South Manchester. I want to give a massive shout out to all of the sponsors of this podcast. We've got London Disc Golf Community, of course, coming in, sponsoring the YouTube stream. We've got Disc Golf UK, massively thank you to Disc Golf UK for all of their hard work and effort, and a shout out to all of you guys who are members of my Patreon. Thanks for supporting the show, and you can support the show at patreon.com/don'tshoot. So yeah, hope everyone's well. Welcome back to the show for the 51st time. This is the 15th of April, and with me tonight is a newer member of the UK community, but very excited to talk to him, and he's got some interesting stuff to talk about, and it is, of course, Nathan Shaw. Welcome to the show, Nathan.
Hello, mate.
How you doing? I'm good. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, mate. Really looking forward to it.
Sure, me too. There we go. We got the music. We got the music back to the chill hop. we can't Mai Tai all evening, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to.
Love it.
But yeah, Nathan, welcome to the show. For anybody who might not know, why don't you give yourself a little introduction?
Okay, great. So I am Nathan. I started playing disc golf in August of last year. I started playing Ultimate when I was like 13. My brothers introduced me to it, and basically just kept going that way. Played Ultimate for quite a few years, and then stopped weirdly when I went to university because I went to drama school. So wasn't able to play Ultimate. In lockdown, as a lot of people did, basically picked up a frisbee again and absolutely loved it. Loved being back throwing plastic circles around fields, and just much preferred disc golf to Ultimate. I'm not going to lie, found it way more fun. And here we are, however many months down the road, and I'm absolutely addicted. I live like 10 minutes from Cotswold View, so I'm in like prime position for disc golf, really.
Amazing.
So yeah.
Cool. Well, it's great to have you here in the UK community, and welcome. I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit about your perspective of how disc golf's been for you so far, and things that you think we can improve for the next generation of new people. And yeah, excited to get into all of today's topics.
Wicked. So am I.
Yeah, but before we do that, we have to give another shout out to Disc Golf UK, our sponsor, who've asked me to let everybody know that for those of you who are into disc dyeing, I know that's something else a lot of you have got into in lockdown. Some of you guys at home might not be able to produce such quality pieces such as this on your first try, but I'm sure you can have a go at some swirls or some spins. And if you wanted to get into it, Disc Golf UK now have the full stock of dyes available for everybody to buy that they've imported under the recommendations of Tom Potter, so shout out to him. And yeah, go check them out. And they've also got bundles available where you can get yourself some premium plastic Disc Golf UK discs that in white that can then be dyed. So it's a perfect chance to check them out. So go check out Disc Golf UK's website.
I think I might be jumping on that. I have been wanting to start having a little go dyeing myself, so might have to give it a little go.
Yeah, I definitely for sure. I am not interested. I am not an artistic person. I do my arts in different forms. I'll stick to musical arts and things like that. But
love it. That's what I'm here for, mate. I'm not at all arty. I just love a cool little different pattern.
Yeah, for sure. I think we've got enough good dyers in the community that I can just pay them to do my dyes for me, and I'll be all good this time. But yeah, absolutely. You guys should check them out. Go buy some dyes. Get a little spin going, and show me what you do, and I'll show some on the show. If you buy some dyes from Disc Golf UK, you make something cool. Send me a picture, and we'll show them on next week's show or the week after.
Love it.
Looking forward to it. So yeah, traditionally we start the show with the UK disc golf news. So I don't think there's any reason why today shouldn't be the same.
Amazing, I'm here for it, mate.
Let's do it. The UK disc golf news. We've even got the graphics, and there we go.
Look at that. Where is that? Is that in the UK somewhere?
Yeah. Can you tell? Or
oh, it's QP.
It is QP. There you go.
It's QP. Yeah.
Hole 15.
I was there yesterday.
So I'm doing a series of photos at QP of Hole 15's basket in the Four Seasons, and I need.
Love it.
I've got spring and I've got autumn, so I need a good summer one and I need a good winter one. So
love hole 15. It's a great hole. It's that first gap from blues. If you beat it, you're all right, but it is never not daunting.
Oh, we forgot to give a shout out to everybody in chat watching along. So hello to Max, Tom, Shane, Nathan, Amanda, and Carol. Thank you everybody for joining us. As always, appreciate you all. And yeah, so on with the UK news. And we've actually got some stuff to talk about this week. I'm so used to saying, well, there isn't any UK disc golf news, but things have started to open up again over here, and we've got some stuff going on. So yeah, so I guess for you, the big news this week was Cotswold View reopening.
Oh, mate, honestly, I was there Monday straight away, getting my membership in for the year. Honestly, it's incredible. I played in the last 3 days. I've played twice.
Nice.
Played last night with Max. Max came over from Northampton. We put in a round. We were going to try, I think we were going to try and bust out a couple of rounds, but ended up playing a really slow, just casual, like chatty round, and it was great. It was so nice to be out there. They made some amazing improvements, so definitely get down there if you're a Cotswold View fan, or if you've never been before. Get down, because they've made it so good. So yeah, love it down there.
Go on then, give us some improvements that they've made.
So for starters, on hole number 2,
okay,
they've hole number 2 and 4. They've put some little mounds behind the basket to stop people walking down the fairway. Which surprisingly I didn't think would work, but literally no one's gone anywhere near it, and they've been quite busy the last 2 nights that I've been up there. And on 18, now the trees are still there, the inside trees are still there, everyone that's been. They haven't gone yet, but they've put a fence around the back, so to stop people walking straight in through the walkway and turning left and sort of messing up with the basket. I mean, if you're pushing up near the basket on Cotswold View on 18, you are off the tee, you're doing pretty well, but it does it that way. And there's some little trees taken away here and there to make some of the rougher areas just seem a bit nicer. But yeah, it just seems a lot better, and they seem really keen to keep doing stuff. I bumped into one of the guys up there, and he was really keen to be like, look, just let us know, like, we're more than happy to take things away. So I was like, take the trees away on 18, please. There you go. Please.
No, it's great. Yeah, Cotswold View is one of my favorites. So I can't wait to get back down there and check it out. I was looking at my calendar, and I am busy this year. I've got lots of tournaments planned. I've got other things going on, and somehow I've actually filled a calendar. So I do not know when I'll be down at Cotswold View, but I look forward to when it is.
Well, you'll have to let me know, mate, because I will be 100% over there with you.
Amazing, can't wait. Max asking in chat, literally every tree chopped down.
Yeah,
I think that's optimistic at best.
Please.
You'd miss them if they weren't there.
True. Wouldn't be the same.
It would not. And speaking of Cotswold View, got to give a shout out to Chris Brain for his ace on hole 2.
Insane.
Anyone who's ever played at Cotswold View, how do you ace hole 2?
I was there on Monday, and I just finished, and I think they were just moved into like the main drag. And Shay messaged me saying he's aced hole 2. He's aced hole 2. I was like, what? And I went back to have a look at it, and it was with a Buzz SS, and I play a Buzz SS off that, and it's like, to go pin high that far through those trees is insane. So huge props for that.
Yeah, huge props. Agreed. And also got to shout out Jason McNeese, Manchester disc golf player. Tonight aced hole 1 at Manchester. So congrats to Jason. Hole 1 from the Blue Tees.
Another good ace.
Yeah,
another good ace.
It's only the second person to have ever done it, so that's
wow.
That's pretty crazy. And considering Jason was throwing, well, let's just put it this way: this time 2 months ago, Jason couldn't throw further enough to get a disc all the way to hole 1 on the Blue Tees. So the progress he's made is crazy, and yeah, shout out to Jason.
That's insane! Wow, that makes it even more incredible. Wow.
Yeah, for sure. I'm hyped for him. We've been playing together a lot, and don't tell him I said this, but it's not going to be long until he's matching my scores.
Unreal.
Yeah, definitely unreal. And we've got the UK tournament season started, which I am super excited about because that's my favourite part about disc golf, playing the tournaments and stuff. And we've got our first tournament results in. So if I switch us over to the screen share, how do I do this? There we go. So we've got our first 2 tournament results to share of the season. So we had the lockdown breakout part 1, which was at Bedworth on the 4th of April. So that was 2 weeks ago. Let me zoom in a little bit so we can see it better on here. We've got to give a massive shout out to James Lewton for not only being the tournament director and getting us kicked off on this year's tour, but also for winning his own event, as many expected. He took it down with a -9 across the 2 rounds. Very hot first round, 49 rated, 1009. So nice start to the season, and then a casual stroll back, 54. Which I believe is a Bedworth -2, and rated 957. He held off Conor McHale, another newer player converted from Ultimate, with a -5, and Jamie Matthews with a -4. So they were your top 3 in Men's Open. It was nice to see 2 women competing, Sue and Sian. Sue got the win. After a very close first round, she pulled away in the second. And, of course, Jessica was there in Advanced Women as well. Moving down into Amateur Masters, Gary O'Malley taking first place there. And Intermediate, which is my division, so obviously I give them a shout out on here. Really hotly contested field of 15 players. And Rafa Lopez Cantillo taking his first win of Intermediate and shooting an average of 930, averaging even par on for both rounds, and taking down the win by 1 shot from both Ryan Ford and Richard Hooper. So very close in that division as well. And a big shout out to the Team Ace people, and to all the Don't Shoot Disc Golf people who competed. Adam and Shane both shooting really well above their ratings. So a big shout out to them. And then, of course, in Rec and Novice, we had Nick Sampson taking the win, shooting +5, so that would have been good enough to place him tied for 6th in Intermediate. And in Novice, we had Dan Leese in one of his first tournaments. His rating was 651, and then he averaged 885. So a big step up for him. So massive congrats to Dan.
He smashed it. Yeah, I was trying to catch him, and he was just he was putting in a good one.
Yeah, for sure. So, of course, you were playing in this tournament. There you go, taking 3rd place in Novice. So congrats on that.
Thank you. It was good. It was so much fun playing the first one. It was so nerve-wracking, though. Completely different ball game playing the tournament. But yeah, looking forward to the next one.
So was that your first tournament?
Yeah, first one. Yeah, never played. I literally booked in completely on a whim. I was like, let's just do it. Let's send it, see if I get in, and ended up getting in on the raffle, and was just like, let's see how I get on. And I was lying second. Yeah, I was lying second after the first round. It was 2 shots off Dan, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And then went OB 3 times in round 2, and just ruined it. Absolutely ruined it.
Very easy to do though. Especially at Bedworth, one of the harder courses that you'll play, especially when it gets windy. So
yeah, it certainly picked up in the second round.
Yeah, it makes it so much more difficult. It's kind of funny. Bedworth is one of my demon courses on tour. Since March 2019, I've had a grand total of 5 rounds on my rating that are under 820. So all the other ratings have been over 820, apart from 5 rounds, all of which were at Bedworth, and all of which were under 800.
As if? Yeah. No way.
I was doing some stats earlier, and I was just blown away by how consistently bad I've done at Bedworth. But also, I shot my best rated round by about 70 points at Bedworth as well. So I'm an enigma. But yeah, looking forward to this weekend and my first tournament of the year, and looking to bring up my Bedworth average a little bit is my goal. But before we get on,
looking forward to watching.
Before we get onto this weekend's upcoming tournaments, we need to talk about the next tournament, which has happened, which was, of course, the Croydon Cup and Masters. This is a yearly tournament that's usually not PDGA sanctioned, but this year people have been craving getting some rating points. So many new players wanting to get their first ratings. That it was made the decision that Croydon members would be able to play still, and they would be able to sanction the tournament. And Conor McHale, fresh off his Bedworth performance, absolutely crushed it. We were watching the live scores. We were just blown away as we were watching them coming in. He's birdied another one. So he shot 54 and then 53, 10-15 and then 10-24. So that's 60 and then 70 points above his rating, which is
huge
at the time, monumental. And he got a nice 20-point rating upgrade and brought him into the top 5 in the country. So that was pretty cool to see. So he took a 10-shot win over Harry Pierce, who was playing his first tournament, and to shoot -3 over 2 rounds at Croydon on your first tournament is super impressive. So shout outs to him. And Josh Birmingham, who was probably the favourite coming into the tournament, only taking third place. So cool to see the two Ultimate boys enter and show the disc golfers how it's done almost.
Absolutely, and big shout out to Harry Pierce because he's another actor in the disc golf community. So it's been really cool to get to know him a little bit.
That's amazing. That's cool. Really good to see. So yeah, like you said, there was 54 people, everyone playing open. Really good turnout, and everyone pretty good rounds, to be honest. Like even the people who are down here at the bottom with some 800s and some 750s. So shout out to everyone, especially those playing their first tournaments and getting on their rating. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you all at tournaments throughout this year. And then of course, coming up this weekend is the Longford. Longford. I've got Longford on the brain. Lockdown Breakout Part 2 at Bedworth. So here we go again. We've just had this. We've just had this first tournament, but now we've got the rematch between James Lewton and Conor McHale. Now rated the same. Funnily enough, I don't think James is going to like that very much, but we'll see. We'll see how things shake up after this tournament. And then of course Josh come back up, so he's got a chance for a rematch with Conor. The field filling out quite nicely with 2 open women and 3 advanced women, which is good to see. We always like to see more women at these tournaments. We've got some Pro Masters appearances from Derek. We've got and the others. And in the intermediate division once again, we've got 15 players. And look at these ratings, right? So
jeez,
we've got incredibly high rated people, and down here, languishing at the bottom, is yours truly, the second to lowest rated player in intermediate. So I've got some work to do, and the person below me is Niall, who is the president of Bedworth. So I'm coming in with low expectations, but
you know what they say. Ricky said at the start of the year, ratings don't win your tournament, so
they don't. And yeah, I'm playing quite confident right now. I'm playing quite well, so I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do. I had a practice down at Bedworth last weekend and played okay. Couple of dodgy moments, but I'm playing pretty good in overall, and looking forward to seeing where I can be on here. I'll be happy with let's say top half of the division. That's going to be my personal goal.
You got it.
Yeah, I think so. I've got some slightly more ambitious goals in my head, but I'm not going to say them out loud on the podcast.
Say it next week.
Yeah, I've got them written down, so I'll have proof if it happened or if it didn't.
Love it.
And then entering in recreational, of course, we've got some more of my Manchester locals. We've got Ben Coyle coming down for the tournament, and we've also got Jason McNeese, fresh off his ace. Jason playing novice. Let's just say Jason won't be a novice for very long. Is my prediction. We'll see. I've told him if he wins, he has to move up for the next one. So there you go. So that's the preview of this the Lockdown Breakout Part 2, which is obviously very exciting. And a bit of news that I only found out this week is if you want to be included in tour points for the BDGA this year, if you want to accumulate tour points and compete in the champs at the end of the year, you need to pay for the upgraded premium BDGA membership. That's £10 for a year, and you can do it on the BDGA website. I didn't know that, so now I have done that, and I will hopefully be at champs. So if you need to accumulate your tour points and you have not yet paid for your premium BDGA membership, go do that. This is your reminder. Have you thought about champs, Nathan?
I have. Do you know what? I was like, I saw it last year and it looked like such a fun event, and I was like, oh, okay, let's see. And then went a bit wild. I was sat bored at work earlier on, like a few like about a month ago. I was like, right, I'm gonna like pay into the PDGA and get BDGA. I was like, let's do it. Let's go for champs. Like, let's see if I can get in any division. And then entered Bedworth and went MA4. And I was like, oh yeah, just see how I get on. And then completely did not realise that there was no MA4 at champs. So I was like, all right, okay. So now I've gone MA3 for the next tournament that I hopefully will get into at Quarry Park.
Sure.
So fingers crossed, we'll get some tour points and get into champs at the end of the year.
Yeah, it's a really great goal, and I'm a bit sad that MA4 is not having champs, is not being represented at champs this year, because one of the best things about disc golf for me was champs 2 years ago when I was in MA4. We had a really great community of people who played every tournament, and we all sort of started at the beginning of the year about 780 rated, 750 rated, and ground our way up in the year, and we were all approaching 850, which is the limit of MA4 at champs. And there was I think there was 8 of us who were all sort of friends at that point, and we all played champs together, and we all made a pact to move up to MA3 together the next year, and it was really fantastic. And it's a shame that you guys don't have that to aim for, but I mean, with just so many players starting out into all these divisions now, I just don't think it would be possible or fair to offer 10 MA4 spots to probably, let's be realistic, 70 or 80 people might play MA4 this year.
Yeah, it's huge. It's massive.
Yeah,
you carry on.
I was just saying, I'm on one of the committees up here in Manchester running the tournaments this year, and we're having to think about doing separate days for AMs and pros. We're having to think about if we can run MA4 only days for tournaments, because we've got so many people. Just take our bag tags. Historically, we would sell, 2 years ago we sold 40-ish bag tags the whole year, and this year we sold 80 before it even started. So the scale of people who are interested in competing in disc golf has just accelerated, and the UK is going to need more courses, it's going to need more tournaments, and I'm here for it. I can't wait.
Mate, it's so buzzing. It's so cool. Like, I say it every time, and when I went up to Cotswold View on Monday, and my girlfriend came up with me just for a walk, and we bumped into 2 people from Croydon. They were just up for the day, and she was like, everyone that plays disc golf is just so nice. And I think that's the good thing as well, is that like it's just the best community. Like it's incredible, and I think that's the good thing, is that everyone really wants to push. Everyone wants to push, and everyone wants to make it better and bigger. Like Dell with doing like the extra holes at QP, and we got Gillies coming up, and there's so many more courses that Rich is working on and stuff like that. And it's like people are really pushing for this sport to become big, and it is becoming big without people even trying, but because the community drags you in. Like, it drags you in, and if everyone keeps doing that with the community, it's just going to get bigger and bigger, and the right people are going to fall into the sport, and you're going to get these new courses.
Yeah, and I mean, courses are not expensive to put in terms of actual money. Like, it's perfectly realistic that a community can fundraise a course, because to put a full 18 in, you can do it as long as you don't need all the bells and whistles. You can do it for £3,000-4,000. It's really that cheap, and that's a drop in the bucket compared to some activities. For example, if you were running a professional level golf course, you'd spend that probably per day on irrigation and landscaping and upkeep. It's just, disc golf is just infinitely cheap, and the potential is there to install as many courses as we can. We just need the exposure and the interest, and that's coming. And I can't wait. Like, for example, up here in Manchester, we've got Lilford Park, which is going to be our second course that Manchester Disc Golf Club are installing. That's going to be in Lee, which is sort of northwest-ish of Manchester. And we're doing a crowdfunder right now. We've kept it fairly local mostly, but we're already like 2/3 of the way funded for what we need to put the course in.
For a full 18?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
We've got approval. We've been doing fundraising. We've been asking people to donate for tournaments. We're putting £10 for each tournament entry towards the course. So by the time we've run our next few tournaments, we'll be fully funded and ready to go.
Wow, that's crazy. That is insane. Because Manchester was fully crowdfunded as well, right? Longford Park.
Longford Park was funded by the council and by grant funding.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that's why we could put the fancy tees in, and anyone who's played at Manchester will know the fancy tees, because the course is sort of a bowl. It's shaped a bit like a bowl, so it has incredibly bad drainage issues. So if we didn't have fancy tees half the year, it would be standstills in mud. So we're very grateful for the fancy tees at Longford. But yeah, speaking of Longford, I don't think we ever talked about it on the podcast because of all the auction stuff, but I'm co-TDing my first tournament on May 22nd. It is fully sold out, and it sold out before it even went on public subscription. It sold out to course members only. We sold 72 places, and we had people joining more, so we expanded to 90, and we sold them before we could even open it up to the public. So
wow.
The level of tournament the level of tournament interest in Manchester is going crazy. So we're going to be running a tournament on the 22nd of May. We're going to be running a 2-day in July. We're going to be running another 1-day in either July or August. And then we'll be running the 2-day in October. So lots of tournaments going on up here, and we might even need to run more because people are just going to want to keep playing them. And for example, the Longford Open, we pre-saved spots for the ladies, and we gave them a week to register first, and we got 19 women registered for the tournament. So
what?
Yeah, we're going to have more women at this tournament than probably were combined at almost half of the events last year. So
that's amazing. That is amazing. And that just shows the growth of the sport, doesn't it? It's crazy.
It really does. And especially, I think it reflects the number of people getting involved from Ultimate as well, because there's so many more women. There's so much more parity between the genders in Ultimate that it's really nice to see it sort of move into disc golf. Really exciting times for the sport overall.
Definitely.
And speaking of tournament registrations, while we're on the topic, Quarry Park have opened up their registrations for their 2 tournaments. So you've got a 1-day on, I believe, the 16th of May.
It is.
And that is reserved for people who are in MA4 and MA3. If your rating is under 900, you can play it. And if you're between 850 and 900, you can choose between the two. It is being offered to those people right now, and you can register on there's a link on the Quarry Park website. And then, of course, there's the 2-day tournament as well, which is in July, I think.
Yes.
And that's the one that I am planning on playing. As a Quarry Park member, I should get my spot. But if you are not overrated 900, if you're not rated over 900 and you're not a Quarry Park member, it's going to be one of those raffles that you have to be drawn into if you want your place in the 2-day.
Yes, I've tried to get in for the 16th, so that's what I'm going MA3 for. I'm like, right, let's take the leap, let's go MA3, let's just do it. And yeah, so fingers crossed I get in, because I need to be a Quarry Park member, really. I'm up there enough, so yeah, need to get that membership done, but really looking forward to it. Great course.
Yeah, for what you get, the Quarry Park membership's good value, so
class.
It's 150-ish pound a year.
Yes.
So if you're going a few times a month, it's worth it. Dell corrected me that it's in June. Sorry, I knew I was going to get that one wrong.
I agree with you. I said it was July as well.
Yeah, I know. I signed up for it though, so I really should know. It's just such a priority for me that even if it was next weekend, I'd be there if I got my place. So yeah, surely it's got to be my number 1 tournament this year. So excited for that. Hopefully it happens and I get my spot.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and now all we need is a Cotswold View tournament. Like
we do.
To get that one sorted. I know there's stuff in the works. I know Shane Cooper and Adam McCrory are plotting things, but I can't remember the date, so don't ever know if that's announced.
Yeah, I have heard through the grapevine, through the whistlings through the woods. So yeah. Yeah,
and then we've got another announcement of tournaments that I've been asked to talk about from London Disc Golf Community. So, of course, they've got their tournament coming up in 2 weeks, which we'll be previewing because I'll be playing. We'll preview that on next week's show. But as far as I can tell from this link that Ollie sent me, there is going to be 1-day tournaments at Horsenden Hill. There's going to be a series of 4 this summer called the Battle of the Hill. Registration is not yet open, but there will be events on May the 15th, May the 29th, July the 3rd, and August the 7th. So I think this is a pretty much an exclusive announcement. Thank you, Ollie, for letting me drop those. And you need to stay tuned to, among other things, I believe it's the In the Chains podcast. Yes, In the Chains podcast, coming out on Thursday. Shout out to the boys on In the Chains. They get the exclusive announcement this time. I'm just announcing their exclusive announcement. So there's going to be something else big from the London Disc Golf community that they'll get to tease. So make sure you tune in on Thursday. Wait, it is Thursday. Make sure you tune in today, maybe.
There you go.
Yeah, go listen to In the Chains whenever that is next a thing. It might be next week. It might be next Thursday. I am not 100% sure. But there you go. There'll be more news coming soon. So many tournaments, and I haven't even mentioned South Warden Farm.
Yes, that looks amazing.
So we've got our Devon friends. We've got they've got a tournament going on called North Devon Open that is already signing up and maybe even full already. Then they've added a 1 day, the day after that tournament, on a Monday. I think it's a bank holiday Monday. And then that's a 1 day at a different course that you can play if you want to make a Devon swing tour for those events. And then South Warden Farm, the tournament is... Why is the date not on the website? Oh, there you go. Sorry, I'm being blind. Friday the 23rd of July, Saturday the 24th of July, Sunday the 25th of July. It's a 2-day tournament. Friday is practice day. And that is in North Devon, South Warden Farm in Bradworthy. I played that tournament last year and it was great, and I'm going again this year. So
big old trek for you.
It is a fair way. I will try and avoid what I did last year, which was I was on such a disc golf binge. We'd just had lockdown, we hadn't been able to go out and play anywhere where things were opening up, and I played 3 days in Dunbar at Reboot in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Drove back from there on a Tuesday, and then on the Thursday night drove all the way down to Bradworthy. So I was in Edinburgh and Devon on consecutive weekends.
Insane. You love it. You live for it.
I do, and I really should. I'm going to take it slightly easier this week. Hopefully, having said that,
no, you're not.
Got,
you just said you got a full calendar, mate.
I do have a full calendar, and I've got 2 weeks off right after that tournament, so I'm sure I'll be traveling and playing. So,
love it.
Yeah, what can I say? Cool. So I think that's all of the tournament news. We've got Tom in chat saying podcast is going to have to be 2 hours next week at this rate. Yeah, I know. Don't tell me about it. There's so much UK disc golf news, and that is fantastic.
There is a lot going on.
There is. So what do you want to get onto next? Shall we do? Let's talk about Nathan Shaw a little bit. Let's talk about
cool.
Let's talk about you.
Wicked.
So yeah, let's move back onto the actual show graphics. There we go. So Nathan, tell me your favourite thing you have found about the UK disc golf community so far since you've been part of it.
It just has to be the people. I've played 5 different courses now, I think, and it is just every time I go somewhere, it is just class. Like, you walk past someone, it's like, "Good afternoon, you're right." Like, I'm from the countryside, so I'm used to saying hello to people as I walk past them and stuff like that. So, like, for me, that's a really nice thing, and it's just so cool. And then usually, you think it's just going to be like "Oh, hi, you're right," and then it's a full-on chat, and then you stand there for 15 minutes and you end up blocking up a hole for someone else who's coming through afterwards. But it's just that, like, I've bought a lot of discs. I've gone a bit mad on discs, so I've got chatting to quite a lot of different people, and yeah, and it's just like every person I chat to, it's not just like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna buy that disc off you. Can I have the money? What's your address? Sorted." It's like, "Oh, where do you play? Where are you from? Do you like throwing this disc? Like, what do you think to this?" Yeah, and it's just so cool. Like, so that is the thing. It's just the people, 100%.
Yeah, it's so true. Like, you just don't meet like a nasty person playing disc golf. Everybody's always happy to talk. Everyone wants to like join in. And even if they don't, even if, let's say someone's having a bad day, they're not in the mood, they're never rude about it. They're just like, I'm just waiting for a mate. I'm just playing on my own or whatever. It's always friendly, and I think it's just something about disc golf. It's sort of comes from the frisbees, like the hippie frisbee traditions, maybe. But the kind of people that are attracted to the sport are just the kind of people you want to be around, and it just makes everything so much nicer.
Absolutely.
Defo. So, you said you played 5 courses.
Yes.
So you've done Cotswold View, Quarry Park.
Cotswold View, Quarry Park, Bedworth, Manchester. Where else have I played? Or is it 4? Might only be 4.
Might be 4. Okay. So out of the
4,
4,
I think.
pretty good 4 to choose from.
Yes.
What's got to be your favourite so far?
Oh, my favourite so far. It's really tough because I love them all. They're all amazing in their own different ways. Bedworth has I think it's got a special place in my heart because of first tournament, but it does just have to be Cotswold View. It's the place I played first. I'd never played. Actually, no, that's a complete lie. I played Quarry Park when I was like 11. My brother
Really?
had come home from university. Yeah, so my brother's got me into frisbees and plastic circles. And they were like, "Oh, you should play Ultimate," and I was too young to play. My mum wouldn't let me go and play with them because it was like, "Oh, I got to go play with the adults." My brother was like, "Oh, but we can go play disc golf," and I was on summer holidays, so my brother Alex came and picked me up in his little Ford KA and drove me to Quarry Park, and I played with a polecat. That was I'll never forget. I played with a polecat, and it was great. So actually, no, I'm going to completely change that. I'm going Quarry Park. Quarry Park. It's got. It's the classic. I don't think you can go wrong.
It's got the origin story as well. Like, I mean, you can't go wrong.
Exactly. You can't deny it.
You can't. And you got to be loyal to your home course as well. But you can't pass up an opportunity to play at Quarry Park these days. For sure. So that's your favorite. That's your favorite course. We should probably talk about your favorite discs, really, shouldn't we? Because
we probably should.
So that's such an important part of this show. We've got, as I always like to say, my wife's favorite topic. We've got desert island discs.
Amazing.
Which is where I say to my guest every week the same question. You're going to be playing at a magical desert island disc golf course. You've got to bring 3 discs, 1 driver, 1 mid-range, 1 putter. Don't worry, you won't lose them. The island will give them back, but there will be a mix of long holes, short holes, water hazards, trees and bunkers and fairways. We've only got 3 discs, so what are you going to bring?
Amazing. So first I'm going to start off with putters right from the bottom. So I obviously start out with a starter pack, and you always play with putters, and my go-to that has only come in the last 3 months into my bag, and it is the KC Pro AVR. I got it in duck egg blue because I love Calvin Heimberg, and that's what he putts with. I don't know whether he putts with KC Pro, but it's duck egg blue. And yeah, I just love it. It's so nicely stable out the hand when it's coming out for a putt. I know exactly where it's going to land. I used to putt with the AVR, like the standard AVR. I have got 2 putting approaches in the bag as well. But this is what I've been going to because I know it's not going to glide like straight past the basket. It's always going to fade off left, and it's always going to like dig in right underneath. So hopefully it's parked because sometimes my putting is way off.
I think we've all been there.
Yeah. So I think and it's great off the tee as well because it's just so solid. Nice, just nicely stable. So KC Pro AVR to start. Then
sorry, Nathan. You've been simultaneously roasted by 2 different people in the chat.
What's that?
Nathan Simmons says it usually lands nowhere near the basket, and Oliver saying something about 90% he puts with KC. I'm not sure what that. He's talking about Calvin. He's talking about Calvin. There you go. So you only roasted 1 out of 2 times, really. Okay,
cool, wicked. So yes, Simo has always roasted me for his putts. So then, obviously, anyone who knows me knows how much I love this next disc. I bag 3 of these, and it is the Buzz. I bag 3 in 3 different plastics, but this ESP Buzz I got second hand off the used and new shop, and it is just amazing. I don't even know when this came out. Like it's so I've never even seen the stamp, so it's a really good disc. But it's it just works for everything. I use it for quite a lot of approaches as well. And it's just solid. I know exactly where it's going to go, and it always flies the same. It's never going to do anything different depending on how well I throw it. Usually not probably going to throw it that well. So, but yeah, definitely the ESP Buzz, and obviously it's good off the tee as well. But yeah, ESP is my favorite plastic as well.
Cool, awesome.
And then the final one. I mean, I don't know. It's a fairway driver, but it's a 7-speed. So, I mean, I'm not a big distance guy. I'm not a big distance guy at all. But I just love this disc, and this is literally coming into my bag in the last month. Like, I've been looking for a 7-speed for ages, and this has just been the one. So I've gone with the Opto Explorer.
Cool.
And it is just class. I bag 4. Wow. I've got 4, all in like different stages of wear and plastics and weights and stuff like that. And they're great. They're just so solid. A lot straighter than other 7-speeds. My brother Ollie, he throws T-birds and swears by them, but you've got to beat them in. And I'm not really into beating in discs. I'd rather just get it out of the box and be able to throw it on the line exactly like I want to. So I'm all about the Explorers at the moment. And Josh Birmingham actually said, I put a big post up. I was like, what is everyone's go-to like fairway driver? I need something that's sort of like a river, sort of like an FD. And he was like, go with Explorers. They're straight out the box. And that is the comment that I remembered. And nice. So that's what I went with.
Shout out to Josh, because he's got himself a listing on the Desert Island Discs.
There you go. There you go. Cool.
Maybe this will be the week that I remember to put them on Instagram, because I always say that I'm going to, and then I never do. So
here we go. There's no better reason.
There is no better reason, and I really should, because Instagram's great, and I just don't do it. We've got a lot of people in the chat surprised that you've not gone with the Buzz SS for your mid-range.
I know the Buzz SS I use it all the time. I use it off the tee all the time, but I just had to go with the normal Buzz because I feel like I use it in more situations.
Sure.
But I use the Buzz SS off the tee a lot more because it just is so dead straight. And I literally say to everyone, I'm like, get a Buzz SS. But yeah, that is it was tight.
Fair. Cool. Well, thanks for sharing.
No, thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about some non-disc golf stuff, because
cool.
You have an interesting profession, Nathan, one that we have a shared interest in. So I'm interested to quiz you about it. So tell everybody in chat what you do for a living in slightly less non-contagious times.
Cool. So for a living, I am actually a musical theatre performer. I'm / actor. So yeah, I finished my training last year. Went to drama school to do that for 3 years, and it's been crazy. I was meant to obviously finish last June, and it all got cut short. So I was in my final year. Luckily got signed up to an agent, and was lucky enough to perform in my first professional off West End show last October, which was amazing. So lucky. But I've been in some pantos with some celebs and done some other stuff as well. And yeah, just plugging away really. But that's my day hustle really, and disc golf's the side hustle.
That's so cool. And to me, obviously, I'm a massive musical theatre fan. I'm really into all that. I miss going to the theatre so much.
What's your favourite musical?
Oh, my favourite musical. I gotta say Les Mis, right? Like, it's just such a classic, and it's maybe it's not the best musical for a new person to get into, or it maybe not bring the new punters like some of the more modern ones will. I'll give a shout out to Book of Mormon for that one. That's a hilarious one to see. We saw that in London, and that was fantastic. But
amazing, love Mormon.
But yeah, seeing Les Mis in person for the first time was incredible.
When did you see it? When was the first time you ever saw it?
Oh, the first time I ever saw it would have been on a video version when I was probably 12 or 13.
Amazing.
But then we did. I was lucky enough to be in the band for the school's version.
Wicked.
When I was
play
in
music?
school.
Do you play music?
Yeah, I'm a violinist.
No way!
So playing in music pit bands is one of my favorite things. I haven't done it in so long, but I'd love to do it again one day.
Amazing.
But then we saw it. Me and my now wife saw it for our first anniversary when I was in uni. We went down to London and see it. Yeah, it was great.
Great. Yeah, no, that's one of the dreams. That's a dream show. I mean, funny that you mentioned two of my dream shows. I'd love to be in Les Mis. I'd love to be in Mormon too. So fingers crossed in the next couple of years we make it.
Yeah, I wonder what the crossover between people who like disc golf and who like musicals is, because I bet it's higher than you'd think.
Yeah, it's weird. The more I've got into, the older I've got, the more I've found out that people actually quite like musicals. Like, I spent my whole childhood growing up and being like, no one likes musicals, they're so uncool. And now people are like, oh yeah, you do musicals, like, that's quite cool. So yeah,
growing up's nice sometimes. So one more musical question before we go back to disc golf, I guess. Just because I'm so interested. So what's your favourite musical you've ever been in?
Oh, my favourite musical I've ever been in. Okay, this is an easy one. My favourite musical I've ever been in was my first drama school, like, third year show. So just as a bit of a background, when you get into third year of drama school, you basically do you do a mixed bag of shows. So you'll play like a different role in one, or you'll be like a dancer in the other one and stuff like that. Basically, then they'll invite agents and directors and casting people to come watch you. And the first one we did was Monty Python's Spamalot. And it was class. I played Sir Lancelot. We had an amazing director. Like, the creative team was amazing. And so I played Sir Lancelot in that. And my brothers, Ollie and Alex Radini, they literally, I'll never forget going into their room as a kid. I was probably like 4 or 5, and they were watching The Holy Grail. And it stuck with me. I've watched it all the time ever since, and I loved it. So when I found out that I was getting to do that and play a part in it, was amazing. And it is just it's bonkers. It is absolutely bonkers. So if you ever get a chance to see Spamalot and you're into Monty Python, go see it, because it's incredible. It's incredible.
It's so funny, and their humor translates directly into Spamalot. I was a little bit skeptical. I thought, how can Monty Python work as musicals? But it does. So
they're great, and there's a lot of odes to like flying circus stuff in it and stuff like that. So I've heard rumors that it's coming back out within the next couple of years. So
that'd be good.
So yeah, go give it a watch.
I think I'm gonna have to answer the question as well. I think my favorite musical I've ever been in, because I haven't been in a musical since I used to act in them a little bit in high school, but I was never any good. But I was in We Will Rock You. That was quite fun.
Oh mate, what a show! What a show!
Yeah, the plot of it isn't
weak.
Isn't exactly what I would call top tier, but the songs are good, obviously, because it's just a Queen montage basically. But
it's a Queen concert, isn't it? Let's be honest, and they've had to throw a story in there just for the sake of it.
Yeah, which is quite fun. But then
exactly.
my favorite musical I've ever been in the band for, which is what I'm more passionate about, was definitely Sweeney Todd.
Oh, what a show!
It's fantastic, and it's such a great band part as well.
Hard to play.
Oh yeah.
Bit of Sondheim. Yeah, he loves writing a hard part.
Yeah, I got to play lead violin in Sweeney Todd, so that was a once in a lifetime experience, I think. Yeah, you had your work out there. I did, but it was definitely worth it.
Love it, mate. We can chat musicals all day.
Yeah, we need a second podcast. We need a disc golf musicals podcast. So in the chat we've got Max and Amanda, who are also into musical theatre. Got Nathan suggesting the disc golf theatre group. Agreed.
Yes, that'd be class.
Oliver says, "Isn't Les Mis that song by Susan Boyle?" Yes.
Yeah. He should know better. He's been to see me and everything. For goodness sakes.
I think he was trolling, but we'll never know for sure. So yeah, we should go back to disc golf, shouldn't we? And I
guess so.
Let's talk about the disc golf pro tour a little bit before we have to. We've only got 10 minutes left, but let's talk about the disc golf pro tour before we end, because I need to make my grip 6 pick 6, and I have not done it.
So do I.
Not done it in too long. So let's do that. Where's my screen share? There we go. So of course we've got to talk quickly about last year. We've got some sad news to talk about that I'd forgotten about.
Let's get the results up.
So we have to mention the ongoing COVID situation in Europe. They're not as far ahead as their vaccines as we are. and they're in the middle of a sad time over there at the moment. So we've got Eurotour at Crocodile in Denmark cancelled. We've got the Petsen Open in Austria cancelled. We've got European Open announced today is also cancelled. So really sad to see that we're probably not going to get the touring players over here. We're keeping our fingers crossed that Estonian Open and Elite can go on in July in Estonia still. But we've had all our tournaments up until the middle of July in Europe cancelled as they experience their third wave, and hopefully we can get back to normal as soon as possible. And yeah, fingers crossed for that. But in the States, things continue regardless. We had the Vintage Open last weekend, which is a Silver Series event. Did you get to watch any of it?
I did, actually. I literally caught up on it today.
Nice.
What an end. And two of my favourite players finishing 1 and 2. So that final card was great to watch. It
was really good. Let me see if I can get it zoomed in a little bit better for the stream. There we go. We got Calvin Heimberg taking the win. He had a big lead. James Conrad did everything he could, shooting a course record and PB rating of 10.93 in round 2. Taking second place for 1,500. And then Gavin Rathbun is the other person I wanted to shout out for his fantastic 49 in round 1. He faded a little bit in the final round, wasn't able to stay in the top, but he still made a cool 1,000 and good performance, and we'll see more from him, I'm sure. Over on the ladies' side, shout out to Sarah Hokum. Obviously, she's been on the podcast. Big fan of Sarah Hokum. Her In the Bag came out this week if you want to check it out and buy some MVP plastic.
I've seen it. It's great.
But Sarah Hokum smashed it, took it down by 8 shots from Jessica Weiss. She shot almost a more than 1,000 rated final round, almost 1,000 rated in the second round. So big shout out to Sarah Hokum. And yeah, we'll have to make our picks for the next Pro Tour, which is coming up this weekend. Sorry if things aren't lined up properly for you guys over there, but we've got the Jonesboro Open this weekend, which is the best named course on the Pro Tour, the Disc Side of Heaven, which I always find hilarious. This is in Russellville, Arkansas, I believe, or Jonesboro, Arkansas. The other one was in Russellville. So we're on the Arkansas swing right now on their way back up after Texas. We've got the full field of everyone you would expect registered for this tournament. I'm clicking all the wrong buttons on the screen share. Goodness me.
James Lewton's registered. Love it.
Yeah. No, not actually, but there we go. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. You've got Paul and Ricky, Calvin and Eagle, Chris, Drew, Adam Hammers and Kevin Jones rounding out the top 8 of MPO. And then down in FPO, yeah, we've got, of course, Paige Pierce, lowest rating for some time. She's had a few sort of slightly slower weeks. Sarah Hokum bouncing back off up to her latest high of 966, followed by Katrina Allen, Hayley King, Missy Gannon, Valerie Mandujano, Heather Young, Jessica Weiss, and then the rest. Looking forward to watching it. I'll be watching some of it live, I assume. I usually do on the Disc Golf Network. Go check that out.
Yes.
But we have picks to make, don't we?
Certainly do.
So yeah, I'm going to go in here. So for those of you who don't know, Disc Side of Heaven, it's quite a big course. There's a lot of there's sort of 2 or 3 holes where having a big arm really benefits you, but it's not the kind of Las Vegas big spike highs a big arm. It's sort of flex shots, things that pan late, things that take a specific line but have a lot of distance. So yeah, my number 1 pick, where is he? Scrolling down to find him. I've got Garrett Gerthy taking the win this week.
Oof.
I think he's played very well at this course before. I think he's won similar tournaments to this before, and I think he's playing fairly well right now. He's not it's a bit of a left field pick, but I have Garrett Gerthy taking the win this week.
I'm here for it.
And then MPO, I've got to pick my boy, my favourite player, Eagle McMahon. Got to have him on the leaderboard. I don't think it's particularly a course that he'll do massively well on, but he's always there. He's always round about the top. He's so consistent. And then I would be remiss not to pick Ricky Wysocki. Ricky's playing fantastic right now. Every single time I watch him throw his pig 330 feet, I'm just blown away because I can throw mine about 130 feet. And yeah, totally here for McMahon and Wysocki to round out the podium on the MPO side. Who have you got, Nathan?
I'm in for Calvin Heimberg for the win. I think he's always there or thereabouts. He's always in the top 4, top 5. So it's got to be Calvin. I have also gone Garrett Gerthy in at second. I think he is playing really well, and I think he's really dialed in his accuracy. So I think he's going to be right up there. And then third as well, I have gone Ricky Wysocki. So it's I think Ricky Wysocki is just on one at the moment, and he is. I think it's a course that's set up for him. Decide of Heaven. I mean, you only have to look at that hole number 1, and it's like a flex straight through, dead straight, and it's like, okay, he's there to play. So yeah, that's my top 3, I think.
Cool. So we've got 2 of the same there. So moving into FPO, we've got I like to do 3 from each. If you're doing pick 6, you can pick more from other ones, but I think 3 from each is great. And it's somewhat boring of me, I know, but number 1 pick, Paige Pierce, going for the bounce back. She's not had a great start to the year, but anyone who's ever seen Paige Pierce in any kind of interview ever knows she's too competitive to let that go, and she'll definitely be back with a bounce. And this is a bit of a left field pick, but I'm going Jessica Weiss for my second pick, purely because I watched about 8 holes of her playing with Brodie Smith and Garrett Gerthy on Brodie's channel, and she pretty much parked every hole. So I'm just she was just crushing. She birdied the first 3 holes in a row. She was she was on one on the video. So that's all I'm going off. I just feel like Jessica Weiss is going to have a good weekend.
You called it.
I actually haven't thought of a third pick yet, so I'm going to listen to what you have to say, and I'm going to pick based on your third pick. There we go.
Cool. So number 1 for me is she blows my mind with how much distance she gets. Katrina Allen for me. I am a massive Katrina Allen fan. I think she's class. So yeah, number 1 for me. Second is going to be Kona Star Panis. I think she is playing insanely well. I mean, Paige Pierce would be the obvious choice for third, but going off of, Sarah Hokum is just another one, big distance player, really technical, good with her flexes. So I think that's my top 3. So it'd be Katrina Allen, Kona Star Panis, and Sarah Hokum to round it out.
Sure. Cool. Good picks, I think. I think having listened to your reasoning for those 3, I'm going to not pick any of them, and I'm going to go Hayley King for my third pick. I think we've got big things coming from Hayley King. I think she's got the most scope for being up there, competing with Paige in the next few years. I think Paige is still the best player and will be for some time, but I think for sure, Hayley King has got her in her sights, and if she keeps playing like she was towards the end of last season and on occasion this season, then she could be there. So I'm going to click save. Those are my picks. How many strokes under par will the MPO and FPO champions score? Oh gosh. Thinking about the course, FPO have a few shorter tees and 1 shorter basket, and the MPO field can shoot like, I think 10 down will be a really good round. So I'm going to go 30 for MPO and 12 for FPO. So I'm going to go 42.
Sure.
Save.
Love it.
There we go. So there you go. That's who to look out for this week if you want to cheer me on Grip 6 Pick 6. And yeah, so thank you, Nathan, for coming on the show. This has absolutely flown by.
It has, yeah.
It has. It really has. And yeah, it's been cool talking to you. And we definitely need to get our UK musical theatre podcast off the ground for next time.
We do. Just can I add one final thing, super quick?
Oh yes, I forgot. You needed to add.
I forgot. So me and my brothers are trying to get some disc golf baskets in our local park. Completely inspired by everyone else who's trying to get it out there. So shout out to all you guys who've been posting stuff. But we're doing a big auction that's going to be coming out within the next week. And we've got some insane discs that we've stumbled across. So we've got a first run Invictus that's coming. We've got a 10-year anniversary Boss. I mean, this is amongst others. We've got a Lizotte stamped P2, which is super rare. We've got a Glow Cat Z. We've got a clear K1 Soft Berg. And the big one we've got is a minty first run Svi. So keep your eyes open. There's going to be loads of stuff on there. But basically, we just want to raise enough money just to get some baskets in, get some more interest around our local area, and just grow the sport that little bit more.
Amazing. So where will people be able to find any info on that?
So we're going to get it all up on the UK used and new page. And we're going to get ourselves a Facebook page starting up on there as well to get some more information up there. So yeah, we're getting it all done. It's all in the works.
Looking forward to it, and keep your eyes out for those auctions. We will do a giveaway on next week's podcast because I haven't actually had a chance to figure out what I was going to give away. I know I said I was going to do a giveaway today. I'm apologizing for that, but we'll do one next week, and I'll make it something good. So if you were here for the giveaway, apologies. If you were here to hear me and Nathan talk about musicals, I hope you got your fill. If you were here for disc golf, I hope you got your fill of that as well. And as always, thank you so much for spending your Thursday evening with me.
Pleasure.
It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to doing it again in the future.
Mate, can't wait.
And as to everyone in chat, hopefully I will see you next week. And thank you for supporting my sponsors and me, and have a good night. See you guys.
See you later.